But first this morning, we're starting with breaking news. Police say a physical fight was what led up to a shooting last night in Luverne. That gunman is now on the run. News Channel 5 Sophie Nielsen-Colding joins us from the 5 Alert Center this morning. And Sophie, police want to warn the public.
And that's why, Amy, they have released his picture. They want everyone watching right now to take a look at this. This is the shooting suspect, 19-year-old Jason Hill. Police say he got into a fight with a man that he knew at the Kings Ridge Apartments off of Waldron Road last night. Then police say he shot that victim before taking off. The victim was rushed to the hospital. Luckily, he's expected to live. They're calling his gunshot wound non-life-threatening. Police say Hill was wearing a red T-shirt with white lettering and dark sweatpants. Police say he took off with a woman driving a silver Nissan sedan. At last check, police said that they had been heading towards possibly the Murfreesboro area. They want anyone to see him, who sees him, to not approach because they're saying he's armed and dangerous. They want you instead to call Luverne police. For now, live at the 5 Alert Center, Sophie Nielsen-Colding, News Channel 5.
All right, Sophie, thank you. And happening today, we expect the 15-year-old Kentucky school shooter to make his first appearance in court. And News Channel 5's Dan Kennedy has been live for us from Marshall County all morning long at the detention center there. And Dan, what time do we know what time this young man will make his first appearance in court?
Amy, we don't have an exact time, but we do expect it to be sometime before noon today. This 15-year-old is guaranteed a probable cause and detention hearing within 48 hours of his arrest, and we are fast approaching that time. So we can tell you that we won't be allowed inside. It's really going to be only kept to family members and essential court personnel this morning. Kentucky law requires that in a case like this, they have that probable cause hearing within 48 hours of his arrest. Again, that's been scheduled for this morning. Prosecutors will present evidence that this 15-year-old is responsible for committing this crime. Prosecutors say they're making very good progress in the ongoing investigation. And this 15-year-old, while we don't have his name, we do know he's now been charged with 2 counts of murder and 12 counts of assault first. That assault charge carries the same penalty, by the way, as attempted murder, and those charges could very well be upgraded when the grand jury meets in a couple weeks. So we are going to be stationed here outside the detention center throughout the morning as we await the arrival of that 15-year-old who prosecutors say is responsible for carrying out this deadly school shooting just earlier this week. Reporting live in Marshall County, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Dan. And another scare in Kentucky. A Hopkinsville middle school student charged with making threatening posts on social media about his school. Officers arrested him on Monday night. They say the threats seem to stem from the child's mother being arrested in an unrelated case. And some disturbing accusations land a plumber behind bars accused of raping a client's daughter. Investigators say Derek Townsend was working at a Goodlettsville home when he made several advances towards the homeowner's 14-year-old daughter. We're told Townsend left the home only to return at 1:30 that morning when he called the victim on the phone saying he was there to finish the job. When the victim answered the door, we're told Townsend pulled her into a crawl space under the home and assaulted her. He is charged with rape. A Crime Stoppers tip helped lead to the arrest of a man wanted for a 2009 murder. Elias Olia is in jail this morning. He's accused of killing Melissa Ann Taylor Ramirez inside her Hunting Drive home in Hermitage about 8 years ago. Olia was 17 at the time of the crime. A co-defendant in the case, Christian Gutierrez, was found guilty of murder back in 2015. And happening now, authorities continue to ask you to keep your eyes peeled for a TBI top 10 fugitive who is still on the run. Yesterday, authorities were out once again in East Tennessee searching for Dwayne Halfacre. Sky 5 went to Whitwell in Marion County, and as you can see, officers were gathered there at a school. All schools in the town were closed yesterday because of the search. Nearby, Halfacre, who is from Hohenwald, is accused of robbing a convenience store in Smyrna with Timothy Timbo Howe. Howe was arrested a few days ago, but Halfacre got away. Investigators say he stole a sheriff's office vehicle and led them on a chase before escaping into the woods. The search for a missing man appears to have come to a tragic end. The body of a man believed to be Benjamin Hino was found in the water at Holiday Lake in Crossville yesterday morning. Hino was last seen at his home on Flamingo Drive back on December 29th. No word yet on how he died or whether his death is suspicious. Officials are working now to track down a robbery suspect who threatened a pharmacist's life. Investigators say this man entered the Rite Aid on Madison Street in Clarksville yesterday morning and handed the clerk a note demanding drugs. He also threatened to kill the clerk. Officers say he took off in a green-colored Dodge Ram truck. Call Crime Stoppers 931-645-TIPS if you recognize him. Right now, a local organization is working to stop racial disparities in school, and they're trying to keep kids from ending up in jail. NOAA's Criminal Justice Task Force says it's time to enforce positive discipline in metro schools. According to NOAA's numbers, black students receive up to 3 times more office referrals and suspensions, which increases the amount of dropouts. They say that leads to a higher risk of adult incarceration.
And when they're unsupervised and they have time to think of things to do, if they don't have positive influences in their life, they tend to do negative things. That's right. And when they're home, thinking of negative things to do, it bursts.
NOAA has asked for MNPS and Metro Council to approve funding for social emotional learning classes and restorative practice teachers.